What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys with a remote duel long-awaited setup video. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about remote duel, and I did too when I first started, and hopefully this video can answer the majority of your questions. If there's any question you have that I have not answered, please ask in the comment section down below. And if you want to see me remote duel on Twitch and answer your questions as well live, go ahead and check me out on Twitch. Alright, so let's get right into it. Why remote duels? Well, the simple answer for me personally, everyone has a different answer more than likely, is I get to play my physical cards in a sanctioned Konami tournament, earning OTS packs, regular packs of any set, well, relatively the newer ones, as well as having the opportunity to play in the Konami Remote Duel extravaganzas. Now, remote duels are definitely treated a lot different than you play in regular locals, and there's pros and cons of remote duels. In this video, I'll go over some of them, and I'll talk about what I like and what I don't like about remote duels. But right now, I want to talk about the setup, and then we'll talk about what the locals and all that stuff. We're going to go over everything in this video. But like I said, my main reason is mostly because I like to play physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so let's talk about equipment, because that's probably the first thing everyone has to ask. V, what equipment do I use and how can I use it? Well, simply, if you have a tablet and a phone, you can more than likely do remote duels. I don't do it this way, but if I had to travel somewhere, I can do it this way. And the way to do it is by creating 2 Discord accounts. Discord.com, you create 1 Discord account. Ideally, what I would do, let's say I would go Paisano, Cam, and Paisano. This would be my camera. This would be what I'm gonna look at. So what you do is you make a Discord account and you put it on the only camera and you mute it. Okay, this one's muted, or you can do this way, I guess, but depending on your situation. What I would do is I would mute the Discord on here. And you obviously want to get a mount, and we'll talk about mounts in a second. Different kinds of mounts are relatively cheap. They're like $10. And basically, you'll hold your camera so your camera could show your board, your playmat, okay? And so there's that. Then you go on, and once again, hold on 1 second. I'm doing all this top of my head. This video is really crappy, but whatever. So you're going to have your camera show your playmat, which is your board, obviously, okay? Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go over here and then open this up. And then use this, go on Discord on here, and be able to see. So once again, I can see me in Discord. I'm in the room, and this is in the room. Let's say I'm at table 5. Both of these will be at table 5. This will be muted. Make sure that's muted, by the way, not low volume, muted. And this will be my camera pointing down, and this will be once again something that I could also do in the same room, so I can see my board. I can see my opponent's board as well, being in the same Discord thing. For microphone, which I highly recommend everybody get a microphone or headset, you can get a pair of I have a pair of Beats. You can get a cheap pair of Beats if you want, or even the Apple headphones that come with your phone, and you can use the audio from your phone or your iPad or any tablet, and you use that as long as it has a microphone, which these are the Power Beats. They have a microphone and headphones. So that's the way to do it portably. You can do it that way. There's nothing wrong with it, and that's a big deal. Okay. So some of you, when you guys watch me on Twitch, might know that my lighting is very different, and the way my situation looks like. This is how my other looks for regular lighting. What I do is I lower the lighting on my thing over here, and notice it's all dark. So let me get some cards to show you guys, because lighting to me is huge when you're using a camera. And I'll go over cameras in a second. We're going over everything in this video. So once again, no lighting, right? Here's how my cards look. Pretty bad. You can barely see anything. I have LEDs on my desktop over here, so LEDs are reflecting from this end. The top part is I have it on cycling, but they're low light cycling, so that's what you're seeing over here. But when I put lighting up, boom, look how immediately different it is. Once again, I look different, this looks different. You don't need a face cam to do remote duels unless you're streaming. A lot of people ask me, what face cam you use. You don't need one unless you're streaming. If you're streaming, the best one to get is a Sony a6400. That's what I use. A Sony Alpha a6400. I'll say it again, but you don't need it. And lighting definitely changes the way it looks. And I'll go over some tips and tricks in this video as well. But lighting is definitely the most important thing. So let's go back over to what I use. So we'll go back over here. Let me click back over here. Okay. So for lighting, and I use the high-end stuff, you don't have to use this stuff. As long as you have good LED lights. LED lights video. So LED lights video, once again, I'm typing something really simple. There's cheaper ones. This one's like $40. They have all these kind of like different ways to cool the video down. You're not going to need really red. You might not green. Maybe a lighter blue. For some people, this blue looks a little bit too dark. Or you can even put a white over it just to cool the light down a little bit. If you can get an RGB lighting, like the kind of, I mean, a regular LED light kind of panel like this. One thing I like about this is, so on the back of it, it has a little knob in which you can adjust the brightness. If you use a lamp, it's not bad. It's the cheapest way to do it. You probably have a lamp already. You can use a lamp as long as you have the white cool lights. They have like the yellow lights, which I just have right here, which you saw from my regular light up here. Or you can get that bright white LEDs. That's what I recommend. And then with a knob, you could change them. Once again, this one's like $40. You could definitely find cheaper ones if you want to. They're not needed, but they make your camera, which looks like you're using a DSLR camera. Lighting is insanely huge. You can have the best camera for Remote Duels, and your lighting's trash. It's gonna look like garbage. You're mad. Your studio board setup. Why would you do that? I'd rather you get a cheaper camera and have a better lighting situation. I'm dead serious. I think lighting is huge for remote dueling, and I think a lot of people kind of go beyond that. Okay, so let's say, once again, I mean, this is the new year. Actually, I think I had something like this. This is a dimmable one, right? Make sure it's dimmable. Yeah, this one's dimmable. This is a cheaper one as well. And okay, here's a good example. The kind of light is basically, you want white light, and this is what you want, basically, in the middle. That is the kind of yellow light that most your light bulbs have in your house. This is none, which is not bad, but it kind of can overexpose the card, so your opponent can't see the cards that clearly. You want white LED dimmable lights. I really want to emphasize that point because I feel like a lot of people kind of cheap out on this one. They overpay for a camera and then they wonder why the quality of the video is trash. It's because your lighting's bad. And if you get a better lighting, you can get a cheaper camera, and people will keep asking you, wow, your thing looks like a DSLR. Your lighting looks crisp. I mean, your quality of video is crisp. Cool. It's because of my lighting, not specifically because of the camera. With that said, okay, I just said that. The lights I use is the Elgato Key Light Air. And the reason why I like the Elgato Key Lights Air over the regular Elgatos is because, one, they have a base. I use 2 of them. I kind of want to get a third one on 50/50 on it because you can do 3-point lighting. Don't worry about that. It's a whole different terminology. You don't need it, but it's kind of cool. You can always get a ring light if you do have like a DSLR that you can angle down. I don't like ring lights for angling down. I personally like the Key Light Air. One, it's cheaper than the Key Light. Hold on. So there's a Key Light. Okay, cheaper than this. The Key Light is bigger, but you don't need big. You just need, especially with a base, it makes it infinitely easier. Lighting that has an angle. The cool thing about the Key Light Air is it angles. Okay, so what you're getting is if in case it's not particularly over it, which you don't want, you want your lighting about a foot away from your playmat. You can then angle your lighting slightly, and especially if you have it on 2 points, it's gonna cover your mat. So I'll show you right now. I have one light right here, so it angles this way, and I have another light directly right here, so it angles this way, and both of them fully cover the mat. There's no really weird spot about it. If you have your light directly down onto the mat, what you're gonna get is, let me see if I can find it on here. Science it might. Let's see. It won't show up. Okay. What you'll get is your sleeve. Your card will look like this. It's like you have like Alistair Invoker, and your opponent's gonna be like, what? Is your card flipped? You're like, no, it's because your lighting's directly on it. It's really bright and you can't see. So once again, you could do a more expensive route, or you don't need to. You can do a little bit of a cheaper route. Get an LED. No big deal. Just worry about your angles. Angle it so it is not 100% on top. That's important. Okay. So hopefully I went over lighting perfectly for you guys. That's number 1. Number 2, let's go with cameras. So I use a Logitech Brio. It's a 4K webcam that I can use for 4K. Don't ask me why. It's literally how OBS works. I use OBS, by the way, whenever I stream. It just won't let me do 4K. I don't know why. This one has a bunch of little cute things on it, but it's normally like when I paid it was like $200. This one's, once again, this is overkill. You don't need to do this. I only do this because I do the YouTube stuff and Twitch and whatnot, but like you don't need to do this. I'll show you a cheaper webcam in a second. But this is like the high-end webcams. You go as high as a DSLR, which I might do eventually for the lulz of it. But realistically, a Brio. My Brio looks like it's a DSLR camera. Actually, wait, I'm not even showing you guys, am I? Boom. Okay, there you go. My Brio looks like a DSLR camera. The quality is because the lighting does this. Without lighting, it looks atrocious. But with lighting, it looks better. And that's why I always emphasize that. Something I had to learn. Okay. Hopefully, anyway. Looking at the Logitech Brio, once again, it's almost near $200. It's the high-end camera. You don't really need this. I'll be honest with you. If I had to go back and do this again, I would get a C920. And I had a C920. I gave it to a buddy of mine. I think that's the reason why I got the Logitech Brio. This is a newer C920s. This is a... okay, no, my ass. There are newer C920s. C920, a cheap one, can run you about $70. There's a 922 and all that stuff. The reason why I like a C920 is because it's the one I'm used to. It has a little camera mount on it. That mount might work depending on your loadout with your monitor and all that stuff. But that's really all you need. A C920 can do the same kind of video quality that you're watching on my videos. As far as my playmat, can do the same exact thing because my Brio can't do 4K. I don't know why, I just can't. The only difference is the C920, the Brio can do 60 FPS. The C920, I think, could only do 30 FPS. There's also a C922. No, not 23. Okay. There's also a C922. That's another camera, which is right over here. Sure, there's another one right over here. It could do 720 60 FPS. That might be better for other people as well. That might want to consider that. I recommend you get a C920. If you whatever cheaper get. I see the Logitech cameras are easier to get as well. There's a Logitech gaming program. So Logitech has a bunch of different programs. I think it's called Logitech Gaming, and that'll allow you more control over your camera. So just up there if anybody has that. But you can get a cheap 1080p webcam. You get a dirt cheap one as well. You don't need to overspend. $30. This is not bad. Once again, I think Logitech's definitely the better ones to get. I'll give you an example. We'll explain like this. You can get McDonald's. This is McDonald's. McDonald's isn't bad if you're hungry, but if you want to get more, you go to Applebee's, and that's the Logitech cameras. You Brio, Cheesecake Factory, if anyone's fat like me and loves food, and then high-end gourmet cuisine is a DSLR. That's the best way I can explain to everybody. There's nothing wrong with McDonald's. $20 for this camera. I guarantee you this camera is a good camera and will do the job as long as your lighting is good. That's how important lighting is to doing remote duels. Okay, now how do you do web arm? So, Webcam Arm. So you go over here, Webcam Arm, and there's really two main ones. And there's a higher end one. I'll talk about that in a second. So the main one is the one like this. It's a suspension arm. Obviously, it has a little and then suspends and connects to your desktop. This is not a bad one. I've used these for years. They're really good. The only problem is after a while, I feel like you gotta keep tightening up the bottom part because it gets loose as you shake your table. That's my experience. I went through about 3 of these, but this will do your job for your webcam. Once again, you can get a webcam that can tilt a little bit, but these are infinitely better. They allow you more control, and they're only $18. Okay, so there's that one. Then there's the flexible arms, and that's what I have my Logitech Brio on. Actually, I think it's not this one. It's almost the same like this one, except at the end it's a clamp. Once again, I did a video on it, my last remote duel video. Let's see if we can find it over here. Here we go, perfect. This one's like $20. Once again, this is another one. It clamps onto something. If you're looking to get the Elgato lights, it'll clamp to those lights. That's what I have it on mine. And then you just take it and you maneuver it around. I'm always playing around with it because it always moves when I shake my desk. Cause I always shake my desk. But ideally, it's easier to move around as well, and it's not connected to your table, which I do like a lot as well. So these are two main kind of clamps. I highly recommend if you're getting a webcam. Once again, you get a cheap webcam, get cheap lighting as long as you get the LED whites and get a clamp like this. You still have to futz with it, but it is easier. So that's the 1, 2, 3 of basically doing that. Your next question probably is, V, what microphone do you have? I have a Shure SM7 overpaying for this microphone. Okay, so the Shure SM7B microphone is about $400. That's your microphone. You don't need this, by the way. We'll start with overkill and we'll walk it back. That's overkill. So I have the Shure SM7B. I have the Logitech Pro stand. I'm not sure you guys can get a better. Let me see. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's a stand. It's not like it's the Rode stand. It's like $100 stand. Oh, no. Okay. It's the, I don't want to be lazy. I'll show you guys this. Yeah, it's no. Oh, here it is. It's a Rode PSA 1 swivel boom arm. You don't need this. This is overkill, but it is something I'm using, so I'm gonna let you guys know. And then I'm also using a Scarlett 2i2 audio interface because this is not USB. It connects to the audio interface, which connects to micro USB. Now that we're done with the boring stuff that people probably like, V, I'm not gonna spend that kind of money. I don't blame you. I'm gonna do this because I do YouTubes and stuff like that, so I kind of liked it for that. What can you get as a microphone? Well, obviously, you want to have good lighting. That's the number one thing. If I had to pick a number 2 thing, it would definitely be good audio. And the reason why I say it's always good and important to have good audio is because you want to make sure your point hears you nice and clearly. This is. So, there's the Blue, and then you got 2 of them. You got Yeti, which is this one right here. This is the one I've used this microphone for years. It's an excellent microphone. It's nice and clear. This is a great one. You can get a Yeti Nano, which is over here. It's $90. No joke. That's a good price for this microphone. Phenomenal microphone. Okay, so there's a Blue Yeti. Before the Yeti, I had the Blue Snowball. The Blue Snowball is yet another great mic. It's roughly around $40. It's not a bad mic at all. Yeti's definitely an upgrade, but if you want to start with a baseline, there is a Blue Snowball you can get. Both microphones are excellent. I still recommend you getting a microphone boom arm. They have some overpriced ones, but they got cheaper boom arms as well. Just so, like, as I'm doing, as you can tell, my microphone's not here, because every time I shake, you hit a desk. And if you get one of these Blue Yeti or Blue Snowballs, you're gonna immediately know that if you have it, like, see how it has like over here where it's like down like this, terrible. You shake, your opponent's gonna hear it. That's annoying. It makes bad audio quality, and your opponent and you can't really play properly. Don't let that happen to you. Get a boom arm. They are relatively inexpensive for your Blue Yeti or Blue Snowball. Throwing it out there. So that's basically the microphone. We got the cameras, we got the lighting, we got the setup. Obviously, you want to have enough space to put your playmat down. Let's go over a little tip that I like to do. So one of the rules of Remote Duel is, hold on. When I do Remote Duels, let me move this back a bit. When I do Remote Duels, this is how I have my setup normally. Okay. Something similar to this. Once again. Okay. So let's say we're playing you and me in a match, and we're playing in a Remote Duel. There's my field center. Here's my entire board. I personally, my recommendations, get a map that has your field zones. It helps you understand the load of the field, and it makes it so you don't have to put a card like here, okay, in the middle, and your opponent's gonna imperm you. And guess what? Sorry, your card was in the imperm column. It creates an argument, creates annoyances. I like zones. I always try to memorize zones. Monster zones 1 through 5. Spell trap zones 1 through 5. That's the way I kind of memorize it. That's the way I kind of play as a competitive player. And also, I play left-handed, and I play at an angle because I write up to down. Long story. I have my deck sideways because of this. It's just, yeah. Anyway, so this is how I play. So what I'll do is I'll say I'll make a bunch of plays. Okay, a bunch of plays, whatever. And we'll set some cards. And what I'll do is I'll take my hand, and what I love about... I don't like Konami playmats at all. I personally like cloth playmats. Little fun fact. When I'm playing Remote Duels, I use Konami playmats. Or I use the playmats with zones. And the reason why is because they have a huge backspace, so I can put my hand underneath. And they have, once again, they have the zones of the board space. And what I do normally if you watch me on Twitch, I'll sit back, take my hands, and put it here. Why do I do this? Well, one, it's comfortable as hell. But two, this allows my opponent to know where my hands are. You see, in Remote Duels, if I have my hand and I'm doing this, and I take my hand off, and I can get in trouble for this. You can get in trouble for this. And the reason why is your hand has to always be visually shown. It's on Konami's thing. And it's a pain. You don't want to put, like, one thing about, like, Konami judges I don't like, and I understand why they gotta do it, but it just annoys the crap out of me, is if your hand's not here, they'll say, put your hands on the board. And having any authority figure, having to put my hands somewhere, against my will, it's actually insanely uncomfortable. I don't want to explain more than that. It just does. If you don't understand that, man, I wish I was you. So I don't want to put my hands up against anything. So normally what I do is when I'm playing a game, let's put some cards in the graveyard. Boom. When I'm playing a game, I have one card here. Here's my board state, and I calmly put my hand right here. Maybe every now and then I'll grab my little vape. By the way, don't vape. It's unhealthy, but I stopped smoking to do this, so a little healthier. They can hear me vape. There's one hand. They can hear me vape. Maybe I'll grab a beverage. Once again, I'll grab a beverage. I'll pop the cap and drink it. Once again, it's all something that they're all noticing. We're interacting. My hand's here. My deck's here. Okay. Ideally, I take my extra deck, by the way, and I put it right here, my extra deck. Okay. So there's my extra deck. My side deck would be also, technically, you're supposed to show your side deck in official Konami events. I usually put it to the side unless they really want me to show it to. And I'll move my camera a little bit, and my side deck will be there so they can see it. But for the most part, my hands will be right here, and I'll be nice and calm watching my opponent play. Every now and then, I would take my hands up, look at my hand, and then my hands back down and be nice and calm. It's a nice way of showing my hand without having to go, all right, end turn. I just hate this. And the judge goes, show me your hands. Oh, shit, no. No, not like this. So that's why I do that. And that's why, once again, if you watch me on Twitch, you'll be able to see me do that. Is because I'm trying to show my hands. I'm still following Konami rules and guidelines. But I'm not just going, all right, pass turn. Like, it's so stupid. But it is a rule. And the reason why it's there because of cheaters. So that's why I like, it's a dumb rule, but I 100% understand why we have to have it in place. And to be honest with you, I'd rather have this rule in place than have no rule at all. I just hate the way judges act. Anyway, I'll keep going with this, but it's like a weird pet peeve I just started noticing I have with doing that. It's just so dumb. Okay, So now you went ahead and you got your camera. You went ahead and got your stand. You went ahead and got your lighting. You went ahead and got a microphone. You might have a mixture of all this in your house. You might not. If you want to do a cheat way, once again, you can use an iPhone, an iPad, and get a headset. That can bypass a lot of it. I still recommend getting good lighting because that's the biggest deal. But you went ahead and did all that. There's also a way to use your phone as a webcam. If you want to check out my previous Remote Duel video, I'll talk about that a little bit more in that Remote Duel video about using your phone as a webcam. So you went ahead and got all the equipment needed. Now you're sitting there going, V, how do I remote duel? Okay, let's do that now. So we're gonna go ahead and go into. Actually, we can do it here, right? Give me 1 second. Once again, this video, I told you my remote duel video is gonna suck, and this is my remote duel video. For anyone wondering what's happening here, we'll go into this one over here. Okay, so I'll exit out. Can I? No, what? Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I know you're saying probably somebody's out there watching like, V, this is kind of ass, but whatever, dude. Okay, we're all learning together. Give me 1 second. Discord. Okay, let me reset this bad boy. Okay, perfect. Actually, not really perfect, but let me go. Transform. Stretch the screen. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Okay, here's your Discord. Let me move myself to the side. Let me get out of here. Okay. So there's a bunch of, and if you go to my Discord, or maybe I'll put it down below, there's a bunch of locals. And every local, so I'll click on Rising Star, for example. Every locals will have a bunch of information. They always do, they all do. And once again, I'll put the links to all these remote locals down below. Some of these locals do tournaments 7 days a week. Some of these locals do tournaments sporadically. I always thought everybody try one remote locals and you become addicted. Just like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You immediately get addicted because Yu-Gi-Oh's a drug. Alright, let me just move myself a little bit over here. Okay. So, let's say you're like, V, I'm gonna play. You go to Rising Star. They have tournament course over here. It's all information about tournament course. Prizing's over here. Star formation's over here. Everything's over here. And if you have any questions, you go over here and ask in general. They're really, really good with answering your questions. And then they have then they have all this stuff about for Rising Star. It's a great local. Check it out. One that I highly recommend everyone have. If you're going like, V, if you have to choose one locals, what would you choose? 100% Grandmaster Games, and the reason why is because they do, they do locals 7 days a week, and their staff is like, they run the extravaganza events, so they know what they're doing, and they have a lot of information. Once again, how to remote duel in case you're figuring it out. They have the bands for remote duels. They have a lot of information for you guys, including a video explaining about remote duels, all the announcements, the weekly events that they have as well. The prize information, and they have Google spreadsheets which you click on. And then so when you do remote duel locals and you pay like $5, say you do one like 1 week, you pay $5 and you do like Grandmaster Games. At the end of the month, and they'll usually update it here, so always be checking out for information and whatnot. They'll have like a spreadsheet which you could click on. Let me see. I could click on it. Go over here. And you can take your packs that you have, and you ask them. Normally, you have a thing about packs. They tell you how many packs you have, but if not, you ask how many packs you have, and you have participation packs and prize packs. So let's say you won a bunch of locals, you could trade those packs for things over here. There's something fun thing I like about Grandmaster Games. You can take your participation packs and change them for OTS packs or Astra packs, and if you earn packs, let's say you earn like 10 packs, you can get an Ultra Ball binder instead of getting those packs, which is something really cool. Anyway, going back to it. There is all that information as far as that. Once a month, most places, locals do once a month that you can redeem your prizes. You might have to pay for shipping. Some don't offer free shipping. You're playing a certain amount of tournaments. It really depends. Shipping to me, in my personal experience, has never been over like $5, unless you won a couple of play mats and stuff like that. It might be a little bit more, like $7-8. But for the most part, it's less than $5 for shipping. It's really cheap, really easy, and they just mail you out a bunch of OTS packs that you earn. So I like that about a lot. Another one is Fargo. This is not a phenomenal one. This is a locals that has 2 different types of, I think, TOs, and they got 2 different types of events. And yeah, they have they can do box tournaments. They give you a bunch of OTS packs. There's Project CCG. Cards and board games I have not played yet. I might consider playing it. There are a ton of locals. So let's say you entered, we'll just grab a random. Okay, let's say entered Fargo, okay? Once again, register here. They'll have that set up. They got Pairings, which is obviously empty right now, but it'll usually show who you're playing against. And there's tournament chat. So let's say we go over here in Pairings, and you find out that you need to play at table 4. It'll say your name, table 4, and your opponent. You go over here and click on table 4. Okay, see it over here? Perfect. Then you click on this right here. Click on video. Okay? And the minute you click on video down here, your video feed will pop up. Then your opponent will do the same thing, and the video feed will get cut in 2. So can I do it over here? Will it do it? No, it won't do it. Okay, actually, we'll do like this. No, okay. It's not going to show it, but normally the video gets cut in half. There's your video, there's your opponent's video. What I normally do if I'm playing by myself, remote duels, once again, not streaming it, I would click on my opponent. I don't need to watch my video. My video should be good because I did everything correctly. I click on my opponent, and my opponent's video will expand to this side. And then we'll start doing regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote duel rounds at 50 minutes. There's a timer. They usually post in general chat mostly. You can click around and ask for it. It's called chronograph. And that's basically how you're going to be able to start doing remote duels. Once again, just you try it one time. I was making fun of remote duels. I'm not sure anyone saw my video, but I laughed at remote. I thought remote duels was the dumbest idea ever. I did one time remote duels, immediately hooked, because you get to once again play physical Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's what I like about remote duels. That's what I like about remote duels. There's things about remote duels I don't like. I might make a video about things I don't like about remote duels, because there are some things I really don't like. Some things I think Konami is doing incorrectly, and some things I think Konami can get in deep trouble for, whether it be legally or not legally. I might talk about that in another video. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of whatever. But overall, I love doing remote duels. I do remote duels as much as possible, and I definitely recommend anybody out there for remote duels. The number one grievance players have about remote duels is cheating. Cheating in remote duels. And that's a very honest grievance that a lot of players have. They go, V, people cheat in remote duels. You want to know my answer? It's very simple. They cheat in regular Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. Fun fact, people cheat in physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Just as much, in fact, to be honest with you, more than they do in remote duels. The difference in remote duels is you have judges watching your game constantly. So, a judge might not be able to watch your game throughout the entire match, but with that said, judges will go through tables, and they'll come in and out of tables watching games. And what they're looking for is proper game state. What's proper game state? Well, if they see your opponent special summoning multiple times with no cards in the graveyard, while you have that El Shadow wind on board, they're going to probably question that and go, what's happening here? They want to make sure the game state is legal. Even though it's up to both players to maintain a proper game state, judges are there to also enforce the rules of improper game states. So that's why they're always focusing on. Number one. Number two, in your locals, one of your judges might be a regular guy, Joe Schmo, and Joe Schmo might be either playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, let's be honest, or he might be on Facebook looking up old flings so Joe Schmo can get a Joe Schmo ho. We don't know what's going on with Joe. What we do know is, in remote duels, in remote duel locals, almost every single judge in these remote duel locals are pretty knowledgeable guys. And they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. And when they go to your game and they're asking questions, they're going by the book, and they're trying to make sure that everything is upheld properly. And that's what I like about that, number one. Number two, when you call a judge on remote duel locals, they come really fast. Joe Schmo, if he's busy giving a ruling, you have to wait. Most locals, regular OTS locals, only have one judge for the most part. And when a guy thinks he knows everything because he took an out-of-date Konami judge test, so he thinks he's hot shit. He's not, by the way. So that's what I like about remote duel locals. Maybe I'll make a video about what I don't like, but these are things I do enjoy. The ability to have a knowledgeable judge give me information with me and my opponent right then and there. It's really cool. I really like it a lot. I think that's really important to help promote remote dueling. Now, as far as cheating, okay. So if someone cheats at locals, everyone calls them an asshole, and everyone tells them to go whatever, kick them out. Get out of here. You can't play with us if you continue cheating. In remote duels, if you're caught cheating once, that's brought into the Konami's attention, and more likely you will be suspended. So I know everyone's really upset about what had happened with, well, I think it was Latin American tournament a couple of weeks ago, in which it looked like the guy was cheating. Okay, 1,000% sure Konami went through it with that guy. And if Konami found that the guy was cheating, which I think we can all agree probably was, the guy is more than likely going to be suspended. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Konami doesn't share that information with nobody else, which I don't agree with, by the way. I think if you're being streamed on Konami's on Twitch or whatever, and you cheat, Konami should be able to tell everybody, this is what we do to those who do this. They don't. They just don't. This is how Konami works. They don't do this whatsoever. I guarantee you Konami is either currently going over or has went over that guy that did cheat, and if they found him in violation of Konami rules, which is cheating, he definitely got a ban. No doubt in my mind. If they find out you're cheating, you're going to get banned. If you play remote duel locals and you think that you're going to cheat in remote duel locals, you will quickly realize that Konami will leave you playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For at least 6 months, if not up to, I think, up to 3 years, depending on the severity of it. It could be a year, I think. They used to do 3 years. I think they might have gotten softies. They might do a year. But that's something that Konami does. So the likelihood of you getting suspended from the Konami organized play program as a competitive player is very, very, very ardent. Now, is it, I made a mistake, 100%, it's accident? Yeah, if there's an honest accident, they're not going to suspend you, not going to ban you. You will more than likely lose the game. This guy just jumped in when anyway, some guy just jumped in, Wait, where is it? He jumped in. I was like, oh, he left already. Okay, cool. We'll go to table 32. I'll see what I'm saying. That's the other screen. Once again, I'll click on the screen. It's my points. Okay. Anyway, if Konami sees that you did it on accident, they're not gonna ban you. They're not. But if it's a real case of cheating that they can see, they will absolutely ban you. Of course they will. And if it's a judge watching that's Konami sanctioned, the judge don't want to get in trouble. He'll ban you. You know, he'll tell the tournament organizer, who would then do the paperwork to get you banned because you are cheating. So the likelihood of cheaters, what's more, the likelihood of cheaters at your locals or cheaters at remote duels? There's way more cheaters at locals than there is at remote duels, number one. Number two, the game state for the most part is always being upheld. Wow, how is it being upheld? Okay, so Konami has rules on spectators, right? If you're a spectator, you cannot just go, oh, that's not this, that's not that. You can't do that. You can get in trouble as a spectator. And you can get the guy who get in trouble because it might be considered coaching. So don't spectate and babble to the players. If you're a spectator, you can tell the judge. Majority of the time, if the majority of matches are done, the judge is more than likely to be watching in your game. So now you have the eyes of a judge, eyes of all players watching that match. As you're playing against your opponent, you have a lot of people watching to make sure the game state is as fair as possible. So once again, I know you say in locals you can do it, and once again, locals everyone's watching, kinda. But a Konami sanctioned judge that more likely knows what he's doing because he's involved in remote duels constantly, as far as being a judge, he's watching. So your game state is more equal and upheld better than it would be at a random locals with some random guy in Joe Schmo on his phone trying to find girls on Tinder or Instagram or whatever the hell he's doing. So that's why I like remote duels, because your game state is constantly being monitored to make sure it's equal and fair for everybody. Winning a fair game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is infinitely better than your opponent going, oh, you drew 2 cards. And guess what? It's up to both players to have the correct game state. Who cares? Like, it's whatever. It's you know, locals. Locals are weird like that. But if it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And you accidentally drew 2 cards, if it's on accident, the judge will issue probably a game loss. But like, they're going to try to correct that game state. If it's considered cheating, you will get banned. But if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly, you have no reason to worry about any of this. The only person that's scared about cheating in Yu-Gi-Oh!, in my experience, is those who cheat in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you don't cheat in this game, and you make listen, I made honest mistakes 1,000 times. You go on my Twitch and watch me make honest mistakes. But as long as you do that, you'll be good to go. So I think that's really important, guys. Like I said, I think remote duels is something everyone should try. My main thing is everybody's always lighting. I don't think any locals are having anything going on right now. But like I said, there was, what time is it? 2 o'clock? Let's check out Grandmaster Games for a quick second. I don't end my videos, by the way. I'm very lazy, so this video's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. But, like I said, they usually post something and say, players, we're playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You gotta pay here. You can pay via PayPal. Some remote duel locals have a website, which I personally like. I wish every remote duel locals has a website, but they don't. Or sometimes you could Venmo them in certain cases. I'm not sure if they still do it. I know Grandmaster Games used to. It's 50-50 with them. I'm not sure if they could still do that, but that's also really helpful. But I'm for the most part, I like going on a website, buying my entry on a website, and that's something that I think is really really cool to do as well. So once again, guys, like I said, remote duels is something I think everyone should try. This is all the equipment. This is how you go about doing and setting it up. If you guys keep asking, I might do a stream video how to stream remote duels. It's a lot more intricated. You can't do it at official Konami events, i.e. the extravaganza, but you can do it for locals. And if you're interested in streaming, I'll talk about like the gear and ways to do that. I kind of went over a bunch of stuff like that already, but I could reiterate that in another video. This is for anybody out there wondering what it takes to do a remote duel locals. It's very simple. It's very easy. And the main thing you have to do is just get your feet involved. Take the first step. Was that saying the first step in a huge journey is taking 1 or something like that? I don't know. Comment down below. I butchered that one up. But remote duels is definitely something I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players would feel really comfortable with. Obviously, and one thing I recommend is trying and looking at other locals and figure out what locals you particularly like. I know a lot of players have like the 1 or 2 locals they love. I love all these locals. I play in a bunch of different locals, and I really do like a lot of them. Each one has something really cool about them that I really enjoy. And if you keep doing remote duels enough, you're probably playing against me or other people. And the remote duel community is huge, and everyone's for the most part pretty welcoming. I like that. And also, another thing about remote duels, in case you still want like one more sales point, you go to your locals on Saturday and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, on Saturday. Cool. I can play remote duels at least 7 times throughout the week. And when I use that at least, you can do 2-3 remote duels in a day, easily. So who's going to have more practice? The player going on a Saturday playing, or the player who has the opportunity to play Remote Duels at least 7 times a week. I'm going to go with the 7 times a week. Remote Duels has definitely made me a better competitive player, and I think it will help a lot of people out watching this video right now if they're looking to take that next step to becoming a better competitive player. I like Remote Duels a lot, and I think you guys would like it too. Give it a try. Anyway, guys, if you have any more comments, comment down below. I'm hoping I went through every single question. If you guys want to check out my Discord over here, it's gonna links to be down below. There is is this it? One of these things has a thing for, or it's around here somewhere. I'll ask some of my guys to put it up. But one of these things have a way to go ahead and have the Discord links for all the Remote Duels and their times and all that. So actually, wait, tournament announcements. Is this it? It's one of these two. I don't know which one it is. One of these links in my Discord has all the Remote Duel links, and you can check that out if you want, as well as their times, which one of my guys made, which is amazing. And that's going to allow you guys to check out what Remote Duels are happening, what time. I think it's set to Eastern time. They usually have EST, PST, MST. Check that out, though. And, yeah, like I said, guys, if you have any questions, comment down below. If you have any questions, go ahead and come over to my, my Discord. We have General Chat, we have Remote Duels, and everyone's here is very cool, very welcoming, and they'll answer all your questions for the most part, and they'll be able to help you out on your journey. I think that's every single question for Remote Duels. I think this is the compendium of all the remote information. Number 1, lighting. Number 2, audio. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my video. I know it's a really long video. I didn't mean it to go this long, but I just want to answer as much as possible because I constantly get questions actually about this. You paisanos, enjoy your Remote Duels. Have a good day.